Okay, now we're going to work on the power. First thing I've got to do is I've got to strip this wire. This is a solid copper wire. I'm just using red because it usually signifies power. Okay, and I've exposed just the very tip of the wire. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and bend it. And you know, a lot of these things that I'm showing you, there's more than one way to do things. So if there's you know, techniques that you're using that work better for you, that's fine. The important thing is just that we have good connection. And I'm making kind of a hook out of it, and I don't need it to be quite that big, so I'm going to go ahead and cut it. I don't want any extra sticking out because we are dealing with the power here, and I don't want to run any risk of shorting anything out. Now I'm going to go ahead and tin this. Remove the board out of the way. And I could use this little vise thing. It just, I don't know. I don't like to take the time. It just seems like it takes too much time. So often I try to hold it and, like I said earlier, be a monkey. But really it's a lot easier to use this little vise. So I'm going to go ahead and tin this. Whoa. There we go. I don't want to get it too globby. Then it'll just run and be a mess on the board. I can't get that just right. Alright, that's beautiful now. Alright, and then I'm going to go ahead and I'm also going to tin the board where I'm about to connect this so that I don't have to hold on to this while I'm trying to hold on to everything else. Now if you look on the board right here, this little piece right here on one side it says +5 and on the other side it says VIN. We're going to tin it right here on the little middle area that says +5, and I'm going to have to turn that around so I can actually maneuver into that spot. And I've kind of noticed that it kind of helps to kind of rub or scrape it a bit. It seems to roughen it up. There we go. That's tinned beautifully now. Okay, now we're going to take this and we're going to put our little hook right there. Okay, and then I've just got to heat up the connection between these two until the solder starts to run. If I can't get that to work right. There it goes. Now it ran. Okay, and that should be a nice connection. Yep, that's a nice connection. Now, the next thing that we're going to do, remember how I told you to leave this hole open over on this side of this connector? And the reason that we're going to do that is that we're going to put this through there after we take off the extra sheathing so that it'll fit. So we want to go to right here. The first thing I'm going to do is I don't need this much. It's just overkill. And then I'm going to go ahead and strip this wire. For it, and I'll strip it. There it went. And then I'm going to take this and I'm going to bend it, and I'm going to push it right through this hole that I left open for it. See how that fits nicely? And I want to move that cable so that it's not near anything important where it could possibly short anything out. And then where it's going is just right here to the power. So I can cut off all this extra. It's got a ton of extra here. Get it out of my way. And then I'm going to go ahead and bend this down and solder it right here to this connection. And that's going to provide power. And actually what it's going to provide power to in particular is the memory expansion board. There'll be a cord, I shouldn't say cord, there'll be a cable that'll connect from this power right here to the memory expansion board that powers it. Okay, let me go ahead and clip this. Alrighty. And that looks good. That's a pretty little joint right there. Alrighty. Now, the next thing that we need to do, is we need to run the cable. There's two things. One, we have to ground this, and then we have to connect it over here. So let's go ahead and do that. So let me first let's ground it. So I'll get a little black wire. Let's see how long it needs to be. And this pin right here, if you'll remember from the bottom side, do you see how this is ground? So, and then this one is ground, okay? So we're going to use this one because it's closer to this, okay? So we're going to go from here to here, and that'll go ahead and ground this for us, okay? So I'm going to need to go from there to there. So I'm going to cut a little bit extra. Okay. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take off the sheathing and strip the wire. Well, I think I'm going to strip the wire. Okay. And then once I get the wire stripped, I'm going to bend it at a 90-degree angle, like that. You know what? I'm going to get a new wire because when I stripped that one got a little bit dinged up. And with copper wire, once it gets dinged, it just loses its integrity. So I'm going to get another little piece and try again. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and strip it. Okay, that one worked out well. And I'm going to go ahead and bend it, like I said, at a 90-degree angle. And the reason why I'm bending it to a 90-degree angle is I'm actually going to solder it to the side of this. So I'm going to go ahead and do like I did before. I'm going to tin this. So I'll use my little vise here. My little mini vise, and I'm going to tin it. Move that over so you can see better. Beautiful. And then I'm going to tin the side of this, of the RCA connector. Now, I told you it really seems to work best if I kind of scratch it a little bit, and I seem to get a nice flowing of the solder right where I scratched it. Okay, so that's now tinned. Now, this should go together really easily since both are tinned, so I don't have to have any extra solder with me. And I should just be able to flow the solder of the two of these, and it should just stick right together, all things being equal. Let me get a hold of that better. Okay. Okay, the solder flowed, and eureka, we got a good connection. So now I just need to go ahead and cut this and get the end of this. Okay, so just like we did with the other, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and make a little hook right here. Going to make a little hook because it just helps it to hang on better while we're soldering. And then we'll go ahead and solder these together. Okay, here we go. Wow, that went really easily. Alright, that's a beautiful joint. And there you have it.